Hello, welcome to the DJ Hugs live stream here for Brighton Beach. Exciting times, and also season's greetings. This is my little reindeer here. Just gonna say Merry Christmas to everyone. I mean, I'll probably get a chance to later, but Merry Christmas in case I don't. I hope you're all well. Hope you're all doing very well. I certainly am, and I'm excited to have a little chat with you all about Brighton Beach. This is Brighton Beach. I've announced it in case you're unaware, in which case it's a great place to be. So Brighton Beach, basically, it's an album that I've made, which is coming out on Jan 29th, 2025. An exciting day, and a day that I hope you'll be looking forward to, as am I. The album itself features 13 songs, and 11 of them are all original. We've got two covers in here. They're both Paul McCartney covers. Incidentally, that wasn't intended. That just happened. Which is why I said incidentally. So we first got Every Night, and that would be something off. Hang on. The album McCartney 1 here. This is my little record collection. Anyone who doesn't know already, I'm an avid collector of records. I've got a little blog called The Vinyl Boffin. Sorry, my little cable from my headphones has come out. I've got a little blog called The Vinyl Boffin where I talk about collecting records, and this is one of my favorite. So that we've got Every Night, and that would be something off McCartney, Paul McCartney's debut album. And then we've also got Take It Away, which is off Tug of War, which came out in 1982. They're all amazing songs, and I suggest you listen to them right away. So, those are the two covers, but everything else is absolutely original, as far as I know. Maybe I might get copyrighted or something, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'll just move him over here. He can still listen in, though, as long as he behaves. So let's have a look at our questions for tonight. I've got 11 questions to answer for you, and I'm going to attempt to answer them all within the space of 17 minutes. Let's give it a try. Okay, so first question. What can we expect? By the way, these are all questions compiled on Instagram, YouTube, all the great places from just people who are interested. So first, the question is, what can we expect on this album? Well, on this album, basically, I've tried to make this album sort of a little bit of a portfolio of what I can do music-wise. So I've tried to make this a little bit of a showcase of my producing, my playing, my writing. So, first of all, you can expect some funky jams. So you can expect some different instruments, right? So we've obviously got the acoustic guitar there, which has been with me the whole journey. We've got my new Peerless guitar and my Epiphone, but we've also got the Donna ukulele and the big one, my Brighton mandolin. So they're the big five instruments, literally, because they're massive, that will be joining me on this album. But you can also see my djembe. We've got my lyre harp. We've got my steel tongue drum. And we've got a bit of percussion instruments I've collected over the years. So all of that will be making its way onto the album. So that's what you can expect instruments-wise, which actually answers another question, which is what are all the types of instruments used? There's also going to be a bit of synthesizers in there as well, and piano, electric piano, courtesy of my M Audio keyboard over there. That's the instruments. Writing-wise, I've tried to make this like quite a jazzy album. It's not jazz per se, but I've employed a lot of the techniques of jazz and a lot of the harmony and theory of jazz in this album, right? I've tried to make each song interesting and its own. For example, in my kitchen, this has nothing to do with jazz, by the way, this song, but this is just an interesting thing. So the song In My Kitchen, I used my house kitchen for a little bit, for about an hour, and I made myself a little beat to drum along to, which is basically just like a compilation of sounds from my kitchen. And that's why it's called In My Kitchen. So that will accompany the song. And I actually found that two of the pots was tuned to C sharp and F sharp. So I hit them rhythmically and I came up with the riff of the song. I was actually really, didn't expect that. So you can expect some different kinds of sounds, as I say, with the writing. I've tried to. This is like sort of, I guess, my most kind of. I think this is kind of like the most hard to write album, because it's just I've been trying to get as much in as possible, um, and I've really been trying to like make sure there's no filler songs per se, because I don't like albums that have filler songs just because it's a bit of like a thing kind of saying I'm giving up, I guess. So I tried to make each song like as if it were to be the lead song of the album, and hopefully I've come up with some good stuff. I mean that's for you to tell me. And also producing wise, I've really experimented with Logic this year, figuring out all the different things that Logic can do. So I'll be using a lot of the like the different audio effects. Like I've been experimenting around with reverb. I've really been experimenting with pitch and like what's the thing? Pure intonation, sorry. Pure intonation, I've been experimenting with that. I've also been experimenting with phases. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff really, and speed and all the different effects that I can put to the songs to make them sound cool. Uh, and panning, that's the other one. In fact, one of the songs I've actually figured out how you can mix stuff in Dolby Atmos on Logic. So one of the songs called Oxygen is going to be in Dolby Atmos for your listening pleasure. Which brings us to the second question: what themes do the lyrics cover? Well, the lyrics mostly are nonsensical, right? Very few of them have any meaning. I think for the song Oxygen, for example, I guess that's a bit about like kind of all these ads of stuff saying things that we like really need, like, oh, you really need this skincare product, or you really need this I don't know, game or something like that. And I've kind of just like sort of made that song as a bit of a saying that all you need is like food, water, oxygen, and stuff. So it's important not to get your perspectives too skewed. Um, but I guess those are the ones that come to mind. All right, now third question. Right, why is it called Brighton Beach? From Zane. Well, Zane, it's called Brighton Beach because, as I say, I've said why. It's about the beach, Brighton Beach, really, here in Melbourne. The fourth question: are there going to be any features? I'm afraid to say no on this one. I'm afraid it's just me for the whole hour, really. I think at one point I was discussing some features, some different people to get come and sing on the songs, but they've all just been a bit too busy. So I've had to make this one by myself. But hopefully it should suffice still. Um, I tried to see how many places I can fill within the roles of band, producer, all the different people involved on making an album. So I'd say that's the other thing. This album's been a bit of an experiment to try and see what I can actually do by myself. All right, next one. Are all the songs originals? As I say, yeah, there's two covers, but all the songs are originals, which has been um really quite hard to do. Some of these songs, as I say, the album's stagnated a bit throughout the year, because I've just been unable to figure out how to end some different songs. Like, for example, there's a song called "Found My Marbles." That the second half of that took ages to write. You'll see what I mean when you hear the song, but that yeah. Um, and then there was a song called "Glasses." I started doing that song. Um, I think all the way up in January, right? I started doing that song, but I completely couldn't figure out the direction it was going to go in, especially producing wise. So I had to completely scrap it and start from the bottom up again. Luckily, it's much better now, I think. Um, but yeah, so definitely all the songs are originals, and I've been really trying to make them as different to each other as possible and as unique as possible, I guess. Right, six, any samples? No, this album is all 100% me or Apple loops. All right, number seven, what are all the types of instruments used? So yeah, we've covered that. All the instruments I have at my house. This album has specifically one of the aims of this has been to get every instrument I own on the album. I'll take you through them now of all the stuff I've had to include here. So as I say, we've got the guitars, the ukulele, my Donna ukulele here. We've got that. It's tuned a bit differently. So we've got the Donny ukulele here. We've got my Brighton mandolin, my trusty Brighton mandolin here, which has accompanied me throughout the whole album and indeed throughout the whole year. So yeah, this really features quite a lot on the album, and especially on the Brighton Beach song. I've tried to literally include that in nearly everything on the album. And it's not been hard because I don't play the mandolin, right? And you'll be able to hear that sometimes in my technique, especially the higher notes. The frets are so small, it's sometimes really hard to get a sound out of them. So yeah, as I say, I'm just a guitarist who's trying to put his skills onto this. So the other instruments I have, my lyre harp here, which is not in tune for the moment, so I'm afraid I can't play you a tune. But yes, this features a lot throughout the album. Not necessarily so much as playing like any of the lead melodies per se, but sort of adding a bit of background effect, right? Just kind of give it a bit of like, because if you do that, well, actually, maybe if you try, hang on. That is quite a dreamy quality to it, doesn't it? So that really is good for like soundscapes and stuff lurking in the background. Because as I say, I don't play the lyre harp either. Still trying to improve my skills. Trying to see how much guitar can help me with this. So my other stuff is the tongue drum here, my trusty tongue drum. It's just tuned to C major. But this has been a real friend throughout the album here, and it's got a way of making itself both lurk in the background yet be really easy to hear, like as in, you know, you can really kind of like its sound is very pronounced. Like let's get the mallets. Like its sound is very pronounced, yet it can fade into the background really easily when you want it to. Like for example, you know, its sound is quite loud, but at the same time, it's very calming in a way, and it's quite easy to sort of dull, but in a nice way, you know. So that's one of the instruments there. As I say, the rest is various percussive instruments. All right, so there you go. That's the kind of stuff you'll be hearing on the album. As I say, there's a little bit of Apple loops because I don't have a set of drums with me currently, so I have been unable to play the drums for this album, I'm afraid to admit. So I've had to get the help of the Apple drummers who recorded their loops a long time ago, and I have been using them immensely throughout the album. And as I say, there's some synthesizers and some cool stuff going on. Will there be a single put out before the album? Now this is an interesting one. So you have a choice, actually. It's now between two songs. It's either Glasses or In My Kitchen. You've got a choice between either Glasses or In My Kitchen. So please let me know on the chat which one you want, or feel free to comment it on my next videos. So you can either have Glasses or In My Kitchen coming out as a single, preluding single to the album on the 7th of December. I'll release that as both an audio and a music video. So you guys are getting a lot of stuff in the upcoming months from me. Question number 9. Number 9. Are you doing any things on the channel for Christmas? Well, here's the next one. You may very well just be finding a Christmas single from me, as a cover of Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. which all rhymes, incidentally. Um, incidentally, "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree" by Brenda Lee, incidentally, should become a rapper. So you can have that, and that may very well be coming out toward the end of December, right, leading up to Christmas to get you all in the festive spirit. Actually, there's officially now just a month till Christmas Eve. So yeah, you've really a lot of stuff to look forward to here, and it won't necessarily sound like "Rocking Around the Christmas" per se. You'll be able to recognize the tune, but the Brenda Lee version is quite rhythm and blues, and I've tried to inject as much modern spirit as I can into that one. There, number 10, "Where Will We Find Brighton Beach?" Um, this is another exciting thing about the album, really. It's that Brighton Beach will be the first album I have, hopefully, that is going to be going onto streaming services. I'm going to be using DistroKid, figuring out how all of that works, and I am going to be getting the album out onto the streaming services like Spotify, etc. Hopefully by the time of release. So that will be a real big step forward for the channel, for the brand, and for me. Um, and it's something I'm really personally excited about because I'm told by a lot of people, a lot of my musician friends, that it's quite a nice bit of validation, really seeing your album, seeing your music up for streaming. And now my last question, number 11. Are there extra songs from the album? Sorry, hang on. Are there extra songs from the album, and will you release them? Yes, there's been lots of extra songs for the album. In fact, there was one song that I tried to do, which was essentially like a 15-minute murder mystery. Well, not really murder mystery, 15-minute mystery, really, where a guard is like killed and a painting has been stolen, like a priceless painting has been stolen from the Louvre, and it's all these different people. It's like a whodunit, really. It's like all these different people in the Louvre, and they all get interviewed throughout the song, and you gradually find out who it is. So yeah, that'll be coming out. That was like sort of that was supposed to be sort of Brighton Beach, I guess. Like not necessarily. It's got very little in common with the song, but like I was aiming to have like one big song for the album, like one big centerpiece, and that was supposed to be it for Brighton Beach. But I just felt that it didn't really have much relevance, and as I say, I couldn't really call it Brighton Beach because it has nothing to do with Brighton Beach, and I wanted kind of a title track for the album. So I thought the 20-minute one could sort of act as the centerpiece and both the title track. So I had to scrap the song, which was called Another Painting. Um, but that will be coming out at some point. I can't say when. Maybe it's like a little 1 year or 6 month anniversary, something like that. But there's been lots of other songs. There's been outtakes I recorded, like little jams I had with friends, uh, extra songs that just didn't make it, early versions of songs. Like there's an early version of Glasses, like I was talking about earlier, which sounds completely different. I used a bunch of like objects in my room, like for example, the the Rubik's cube here. I used that, and I used a bunch of objects in my room, like glasses, for example. I used a few pairs of glasses to make something cool, but I ultimately had to scrap it. Um, so yeah, you'll be getting that as well. Yeah, as I say, so I'll definitely be releasing all this stuff. You know me, I'm not one to hold back for material when there is some. So yeah, hopefully, I think this live stream may have given you a bit of like a more of a insight and a bit of an idea into what's coming up over the next couple months for the channel and what you can kind of expect on Brighton Beach um, in general. And as I say, this has been kind of my big year project. Really, it's been the thing I've been working toward all year. Um, it's taken me a lot of time and it's taken a lot of effort, and I'm really, really excited to share it with you all, and I hope you're all excited to hear it. All right, so there you go. That was DJ Hugs there, the live stream. So I'm gonna say bye now. I'll just type that in the chat. Bye, everyone. Yeah, so bye, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did, and I'll be talking to you guys about more stuff coming up within the next few weeks. All right, see you guys. You're the best. Bye.